What's going on, guys? Hope everybody's doing well. During the whole Libra fiasco, whatever you want to call it, Facebook launching Libra or trying to launch Libra, the entire time that they were talking about Libra and building their own blockchain, this exact statement, what if Libra was built on Ethereum, was kind of going through my head, being that Ethereum was developed to be a layer for other companies and organizations to build blockchain solutions on top of. It seemed like a no-brainer to actually build something like Libra on Ethereum. Now, this is actually something that the Defiant here, which is a DeFi, I think it's a weekly newsletter, came up with and did an article about. And it is something that obviously there's going to be some drawbacks to doing it, like the price of Ethereum would probably go through the roof if that were the case, and there could be some insider trading problems, people hearing about Facebook doing this, and then them purchasing Ethereum and then making a boatload of money off of it. Obviously, also, Facebook would want to have complete control of the blockchain in order to make the most amount of money from it, which is why they most likely went in the direction that they wanted to go into. But I quickly wanted to go through some of the main points here that I highlighted about if Libra was to be launched on Ethereum, what are some of the options and what are some of the drawbacks? So, but what would have happened if Facebook had launched a global payments network on top of a permissionless blockchain like Bitcoin or Ethereum? Well, it's right there in the name. They wouldn't have had to ask for permission, or at least a lot less than what they're having to do now. And that's absolutely true. They wouldn't have had to ask for permission since they are building it on top of Ethereum. There are some technical questions around it. If the Ethereum blockchain has enough throughput to handle someone as big as Facebook and 2 billion users to use it, that's probably one of the biggest questions that people may have around something like Libra being launched on Ethereum. But as far as the permission side of things, yeah, it would have been permissionless, but there could be other reasons. They could, I should say, even though the actual platform or coin or token, whatever that they would create on top of Ethereum would be permissionless. Facebook is not permissionless. They are a centralized company, which means that the government could still target Facebook as a company if they wanted to go after them for creating the permissionless blockchain. So the token itself would be fine and would always work, but the government could always go after Facebook themselves. Maybe they could have integrated a digital wallet onto their different messaging platforms with a good user interface that would have put digital currency in people's hands in no time, and they would already be on their way to achieve the stated goal of enabling people to move money around the world as easy and cheap as sending a text message. This is what crypto already does. Well, I would argue that this isn't that their goal. Their goal is not, their goal is not to enable people to move money around the world as easy and cheap as sending a text message. Their goal is to control finance through the means of this currency, and then also learn, no matter what they say, they would be able to link somebody to an address and then see all of their buying habits. A whole new industry is being born right now around spending through these pseudo-anonymous blockchains, where you can kind of identify what addresses are for what product, and then from there you can actually get a glimpse of what somebody's buying habits are. All it takes is for them to find out what your primary address is, and then they actually have a lot of information about you. It's probably even more powerful than the data they have on you around your social media activity, being that what you purchase is a lot more personal to you. People usually don't put money towards things that they aren't absolutely interested in. A lot of people might not realize that credit card companies probably have the most personal data on a person than anybody else. And that data most likely already is being shared with Facebook. I don't know if that's legal, but they probably are grabbing that data somehow. True, regulators would still be able to shut down the digital wallet in their jurisdictions, especially if it connects with fiat money and bank accounts. But if Facebook had launched Libra as an ERC20 token, maybe under Regulation A+ in the US, it would be a lot harder to shut that down. Yes, that's true. Again, like I said before, the regulators would be able to go after Facebook themselves for anything if they didn't like the fact that they built this token on top of Ethereum. They could still go after Facebook and fine them every day if they wanted to, until they stopped using it or stopped publishing it as a payment option on the Facebook networks, including Instagram and some of the other properties they have. They could also just have used an existing stablecoin and, for that matter, integrated with existing applications for transferring and spending digital currency. But then they wouldn't have been able to make as much money from the whole thing. And that is actually the whole reason they're doing it. I mean, they're a company. For the first and foremost, they want to make money. I disagree with the whole stablecoin side of it. I don't believe that they could use an existing stablecoin. Most likely, they would have just created a new stablecoin on top of Ethereum. They wouldn't use an existing stablecoin. But I thought this was interesting, kind of an interesting topic. I just wanted to do a quick video about it. I would like to know your guys' thoughts on this. Maybe what are some of the drawbacks to something like Facebook building Libra on top of Ethereum, or if you think that there are some other blockchains out there that would be capable of handling something like this, that are truly a decentralized blockchain. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. Please share it. And if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. That's all I got. Thanks.